Building a customer base that is excited to promote our brands and companies for us is the best kind of marketing we can possibly do. And it comes down to a very simple concept: delighting our customers. Now, Disney is the epitome of a company who is focused on delighting their customers. So today we're going to look at a few lessons from Disney and how to practically incorporate this idea of delight into our marketing and businesses, and how to make sure it's working. Now, before we do that, my name is John Delancey. I am the head Disney nut and marketing aficionado here at Marketing the Magic. We are a community for small business owners who want to improve their understanding of marketing strategy and tactics through lessons that are inspired by the Walt Disney Company. Now, let's dive into this idea of delight as a marketing tool. Okay, in this day and age, customer service is absolutely paramount. It is critical, and not just having customer service, but having fantastic customer service. And that whole idea can be encompassed in this notion of delight. Now, I can't possibly cover everything there is to know or teach, even if I knew it, about how to improve your customer service and offer the best customer service you can. But what I do know is that delight, this idea of fantastic customer service, should be a part of absolutely everything we do. Every interaction we have with a customer or potential customer, it should be I'm not sure what I just said. Delight should be something we focus on in every interaction we ever have with a customer or potential customer. Ha! This is live. I can't edit that out. So there you go. But now, this idea of delight it's not just a buzzword or a concept. It is a very concrete idea in marketing, and in particular in inbound marketing. So what we're going to do real quick is look at the 4 phases of inbound marketing. And those are to attract, convert, close, and of course, delight. Now, the attract phase is where we're literally attracting people and making them go from being visitors to our website, or strangers to us, to visitors to our website and our content. Once we've done that, we want that content to convert those visitors into leads and contacts. And then we turn those leads into customers by closing them in the close phase of the methodology. And then finally, of course, and what we're focusing on today, we want to delight them. Now, delight is how we turn our customers into promoters of our brand. And when it makes sense for the kind of business that we operate, we want them to, this is how we turn them into repeat customers. So, I mean, not every single company out there has a use for repeat customers. But if you do, delight is how you make sure that they stay your customers. Now, again, Disney is the epitome of a company focused on delight. And so let's talk about a few real examples of how that's the case. If you're here, I'm guessing you're probably a Disney fan, so you know that there is a massive community of fans and Disney enthusiasts around the Disney brand, and that's online and offline. There are thousands of books and magazines out there that have been written for Disney fans, for enthusiasts to the Disney brand. There are millions of blog posts and videos that are out there, again, focused exclusively on that Disney brand, and whether it's the movies or theme park experiences or whatever it is, or how to learn better marketing strategy by studying Disney. Ta-da! There are so many of those content creators out there that are so inspired by Disney that they have created these things about it. There are whole brands and companies created by and for Disney enthusiasts. There is WDW Radio by Lou Mangello, who I've talked about routinely here, that has created his podcast and blog, and now he's expanding into live video and other things for Disney enthusiasts, people who want to know about the history of the company and how to have a better vacation experience when they go. There are other companies just like that, like Inside the Magic and the Diz, the Big Fat Panda Show. There are dozens of travel agencies out there that specialize in Disney vacations, and thousands of independent travel agents who work for those agencies. There was a documentary created called The Disney Dream Finders about people who move to Orlando specifically so that they can be closer to the Disney theme parks. I hope to be one of those people one day with my wife. Disney itself has created festivals and conferences and all kinds of things for those Disney enthusiasts, and of course those become their own sources of revenue and marketing and promotion. So these are things like the D23 Expo, the Run Disney events around the world, the Food and Wine Festival, and the Flower and Garden Festivals at Epcot, the special events they host in the Magic Kingdom and around the world that draw in those enthusiasts and give them what they want, and so that they go out and continue to promote these ideas through these other companies and these blogs and the videos and the books and everything else that these enthusiastic fans of the Disney brand create every single day. Delight pays dividends. That is the lesson for today. Investing in delighting your customers will pay dividends to your business many, many times over for the rest of the time that you are in business. Now, let's talk about some actual practical things we can do. So, again, as I mentioned, delighting our customers should be a focus, or should be something that we focus on in every single interaction we ever have with a customer. And that begins before they become a customer, and typically will begin with them visiting our website in some way, shape, or form, whether it's to download a content offer or just to read a blog post or whatever it is. Typically speaking, the first interaction we really have with a potential customer is going to be when they visit our website. So let's talk about a few ways that we can make sure that we have focused on our website so that it can create this delightful experience. Now, the first thing to talk about here is that we have to focus heavily on making it an easy-to-use website. So what I mean by this is that it is very easy for our customers to find the information that they want from us on our websites. So that's making sure that our menu navigation is clean and takes people exactly where we want it to, that when they're reading a blog post, we have logical ways for them to find similar content or other advice that they might be interested in. It's thinking of your website in those terms. So look at your website as if you were a customer who had a question about what your company does. Can you, as that customer, go to your own website and find that information easily? Now, this number 2 is a big, big thing, and I should have probably made it number 1 because it's that important. And that is to make sure that your website works well on mobile devices. If your website can't be read and people can't see the images, they can't read the text, they can't tap the buttons, they can't use your website effectively on their mobile devices, phones and tablets. If your customers, if that is your website, your customers can't do those things, can't use your website on a mobile phone, do not spend another dime or another minute looking at any other kind of marketing until you have a mobile website. You have to have that today. And that is key to creating delightful experiences for our customers. And number 3, we do obviously want to make sure that our websites are aesthetically pleasing. We want to make sure they're pretty. We want to make sure that our brand colors are in there and that we have nice graphics and well laid out text and all those things. But that is the least important aspect of this delight equation. So if those first 2 things, if your customers can't view your website on a mobile phone, and if they can't find the information they need when they get to your website, they are not going to care if it's pretty. I promise you that. They will not be delighted if they can't find the information they need or if they can't read it on a mobile phone. So just make sure those first 2 things are covered before you look at the aesthetics, before you look at the design. Now, aside from your website, what are some other ways that we can incorporate this idea of delight? So Obviously, if a customer comes to you with questions, you want to make sure that you're addressing those questions and any issues they might have. But specific to marketing, so again, if you are using these ideas of content marketing, so you're creating blog posts, and especially specifically if you are offering ebooks or special videos or special seminars to your potential customers in exchange for their contact information, so their name and their email address, make sure that your marketing team or that somebody on your team follows up with those customers after they've had a chance to read that ebook or watch that seminar or that video or whatever it is. And now the key here is do not make that follow-up email about pitching. Don't try to sell them anything. It is not the time for that. When somebody has signed up for an ebook, to receive an ebook from your company about the problem that they're facing, they are not ready to be pitched or sold. Use that first follow-up email to begin creating that relationship. Make your customer feel important to you because they are important to you and not just because you want that sale. So, that's a few ways that we can practically look at how to incorporate this idea of delight into our marketing. But how do we know if we are delighting our customers? How do we track this? Well, obviously, you want to keep an eye on websites like Yelp and Google My Business and the reviews section on your Facebook page if you have that enabled, because people are going to be providing that feedback in those places, and you want to make sure that you're addressing any concerns that might be raised in those places. And the second way that we can do this is to monitor social media. And now I don't mean to just see what people are posting on your wall. I mean setting up monitoring with a tool like Hootsuite to track anyone who mentions your brand or your company and what they're saying. So you can use those tools like Hootsuite to set that kind of information up, or that kind of tracking up. And now, really, especially if your company offers or encourages repeat business, repeats people coming back for more products from you or services from you, or if you offer subscription type services, look at your sales database. That is probably one of the best places you can look. Look at your churn rate, or how many customers don't come back or cancel their subscriptions. You want to look at that and quantify that information so you can begin tracking it, so you can see, if your churn rate is extremely high, obviously you're not delighting your customers as best you could. So you want to track that, and then as you're making changes over time, you'll be able to track whether that delight is going up, that measurement of delight, that churn rate, is becoming more or less favorable to your company. But the best way, the very best way, and Disney uses this all the time, is to just ask your customers. Seems simple, right? So there's a lot of ways you can do that. I mean, you can literally email them one at a time and ask, hey, are you happy with your service or with the products we've delivered to you? But one of the best ways, and again, the way that Disney does this especially effectively, is through the use of surveys. So surveys are a major, major tool in tracking whether we are successfully delighting our customers. Now, again, if you have been to a Disney theme park, you know that they do this a lot. I think on our last trip to Disney World, my wife counted 4 times in 2 days, in the first 2 days that we were there, that Disney approached her to try to survey her specifically about food and dining. That's it. 4 times in 2 days that they approached her to talk about food and dining, about the experiences that we'd had at the various restaurants, the offerings that were available at those places, the service, those kinds of things. Disney uses surveys for everything. In the Magic Kingdom, you might be aware, up until the last few years, Disney did not serve alcohol anywhere in the Magic Kingdom, the original theme park at the Walt Disney World Resort. And that's because Walt didn't want it. Walt didn't want it to be served there. He wanted the Magic Kingdom in particular to be a place for family entertainment and fun. But as the park has matured, as the audience has matured, as the guests who enjoy those theme parks change over time, and then especially as they begin to add more and more refined experiences, more and more specific and unique experiences, And in particular, what happened here was they built Be Our Guest, the restaurant in the Magic Kingdom themed after Beauty and the Beast. And what they wanted to do there, because they were serving really good French cuisine, is they wanted to be able to serve wine and beer to the people who were eating in that restaurant. Now, they did not allow for alcohol to leave that restaurant, and that was a big key here. But the reason that they knew that this was going to be okay, and especially after they had tried it, that they knew that it worked and they could then expand it to other restaurants around the Magic Kingdom, was because they asked. Now, there are definitely customers or guests to Disney World out there who did not want this, who did not want alcohol served anywhere in the Magic Kingdom. They wanted that experience to remain pure. And that's okay. Disney is never going to be able to please everyone, and neither are we as business owners. But they knew that it was successful and that it wasn't going to harm the business and that it was going to appease the people who did want it because they asked, they surveyed, they asked their customers whether this experience, this change, was delightful to them or not. Now, how do we do this? Well, survey science is a complex thing, but we don't have to hire Gallup. I mean, it's not that complex in most cases. What we can do instead is use a tool like SurveyMonkey, one of the very, very oldest and best out there. SurveyMonkey is fantastic. It's easy to use, and we can set up whatever kind of surveys we want to send to our customers to take. Now, when we create these surveys, this is a big key to be aware of, is we want to focus again on quantitative data. Now, that's quantitative versus qualitative. In case you haven't heard these terms before, quantitative means it can be given a distinct, specific value, a 1 to 10, a yes or no question, multiple choice questions, those kinds of things. They are quantitative. Qualitative questions are more like, how did this experience make you feel? What did you think about working with our company? Those are the kind of questions that can have their own value and that are good information to have, but what they do is they make it very difficult for us to be able to track trends over time. So we can run the survey this year and then run it again next year and very easily compare one survey to the next to see whether we've improved or we've gotten worse if we ask those quantitative questions. You can't turn a qualitative question like, how did this make you feel, into easy numbers. So you want to focus on those questions. Again, ask questions like on a scale from 1 to 10, or yes or no, did you enjoy, was the service at our restaurant adequate? Yes or no? Those kinds of questions. And there's one in particular that is extremely useful to us in marketing and in business in general, and it's one that can give us what's called the Net Promoter Score. And now I'm not going to go completely into this topic for today. I think I'm actually going to make it the Magical Marketing Minute for next week. But to introduce the idea, the question that we want to include to obtain our Net Promoter Score is, on a scale from 0 to 10, how likely are you, as our customer, to recommend our company to your friends and family? That's it. Very simple. How likely are you to recommend our brand to your friends and family? And that people will score, and using the aggregate data, the answers that come back on the surveys from people that have answered that question, you can calculate what's called a Net Promoter Score. Again, we're not going to dive too deeply or any more deeply really today into what that is or why it's important. Basically, it lets you know how likely people are to promote your business for you, or, in other words, how well you have delighted them. So, use those surveys. Ask your customers if you're delighting them. That's the simplest, most effective way to do it. Now, let's kind of wrap things up here. I started a little early, so we're actually going to end a little early today. But let's kind of wrap this idea up. Again, we started by saying that getting our customers to promote our businesses for us, there can be no more effective marketing in the world, because we don't have to do it. Our customers will do it for us. And the way that we do that is by delighting our customers. Disney clearly is the master of delighting its customers. It doesn't mean that they're perfect. It doesn't mean that every experience every customer ever has will be great. Things happen, mistakes happen. Companies are made up of humans, and humans make mistakes. But if we are that focused, if we are so completely focused on delighting our customers, those few experiences that might not go that well won't matter. So, focusing on delight is absolutely critical. Now, delight is not just a job for the marketing department. Again, every interaction that our company will ever have with a customer is an opportunity to delight that customer. So that starts with marketing, but it also includes your salesman. It includes the purchase process. It includes the follow-up process and any kind of customer service processes. It includes every touch that we will ever have with a customer. And it's something that we have to track and analyze over time to be sure that we're getting better at it, to ensure that it's working, to ensure that the time and energy and effort that we are investing into creating delightful experiences for our customers, it's how we ensure that that pays off. So we need to set up some way to track and analyze whether and how well we are delighting our customers over time. Now, that's going to wrap things up. I hope that you have enjoyed today's episode. Let me know in the comments if you have questions about how to delight our customers in the Disney way, or if you have examples of how it's worked well for your company. And answer that question of the week, which was tell us about a delightful moment that you've had with the Disney company, whether it was watching a movie or in the theme parks, whatever it was, we'd love to know about it. And that's going to wrap things up, like I said. I do hope you'll come back next week. We're going to be talking about Donald Duck's 50th birthday, and that will be one of the last 2 episodes for this season. The final episode will be a recap and a preview of Season 2. So, with that, guys, have a great day. I hope you've enjoyed our lesson today, and I will see you real soon. Thank you for watching.